Scorpio, what is going on? Welcome into the channel. So happy to have you here always. My name is Deborah, owner of Purusha Holistic Wellness, and this is another episode of Purusha Intuitive, where we're going to look at your energy via the tarot, astrology, and any channeled messages that come through. So let's get into it. Excuse me. Working with my microphone, trying to set up myself for success, but I am kind of hitting it a little bit, so I apologize in advance. I hope that you guys are doing well. Thank you for tuning in always. We are in the throes of Aries season. Aries season is great because it really allows us to take a step back and invest in ourselves. Invest in ourselves in a way that is actually going to bring us closer to what we want, what we desire, what we're kind of envisioning for our life. And it is coming on the heels of a very emotional Pisces season. I feel like the emotion triggered a lot of awareness, a lot of understanding around relationships, dynamics that weren't really working in our favor or in a reciprocal type way. People that have kind of either lied, manipulated, gossiped, slandered, etc. behind the scenes in order to get what they want. Those things are definitely being highlighted. They still continue to do so as Mercury and Venus are in retrograde until mid-April. So a lot going on, but again, Aries season allows us to feel a little bit stronger, a little bit more empowered, more confident, even though there's some messiness that is happening. And we're still kind of combating the emotions of it all. That value between emotionality and like actually taking action and making things happen. We got to temper that force, find balance, so to speak. And that all just quite requires a lot of mindfulness, a lot of awareness, and sometimes it's just not the reality given whatever we're dealing with. So that's why I like to start off with an energy cleansing, just kind of set the tone, set the vibe for the reading, cleanse out some of the blocks, some of the limitations that we might be coming into. It's a really good time to set your own intention for the reading as well, especially if you've come into this with something on your heart, something on your mind, something you would like to give or have spirit deliver messages to you around. Definitely give those questions over. Be open to receive. It's a great way to personalize these collective readings. And I also do personal readings. I offer a variety of healing, wellness services. Readings are one of them. If you want me to look at your specific situation, what's going on for you, or if you're just looking for more of a rebalancing of your mind, body, soul, I do energy healing as well as Ayurvedic or holistic wellness consultations. When we're in alignment, we're choosing things that make us feel happy, that make us feel fulfilled. It actually aligns us with our abundance as well. So hit me up if you are interested. All that info is in the description box below. I would love to help and support in whatever way possible. Scorpio, definitely reach out and connect if you are interested. All right, let's get into it. I bless you with pure love and light, pure source energy, pure loving grace. I release anything that is not for your highest and best. Any fears, doubts, insecurities, lack of worth, lack of value, pain, anger, frustration, impatience, overwhelm. Cleanse it and release it from our being so we may see and understand the messages clearly and help to make me a clear and open channel for the collective. Thank you, Father God, Spirit guides, guardian angels, Mama Love, Mama. All right, let me just move this real quick. Doesn't get too wild over here. Not ready for the wildness quite yet. Still early. All right. So we also this week, I don't think I said this yet. Forgive me. But we have a new moon solar eclipse in Aries. It's going to be on the 29th. And new moons really give us the opportunity to set new intentions, right? To kind of, as we are investing in ourselves in Aries season, it's the beginning of a cycle of the zodiac. We need to know where we want to put our time and our energy towards. This value of setting the stage, setting a solid foundation is what I'm hearing. And the astrology has been a little bit weird because we're getting a lot of support, but we're still kind of dealing with a lot of messiness at the same time. So it's kind of hard to feel that supportive energy. And that's where I feel like Spirit's really asking us to slow down a little bit. We've had some time over these past 2 weeks, 100%, where it's like life is moving a little bit slower. And we have to take that as understanding, as indicators to kind of slow our roll down within ourselves. Because there is a lot of change with the cicada. It does look like you're moving through periods where there is a lot of reshuffling. This is happening all across the collective, i.e. Pluto moving into Aquarius. It's allowing us to connect with and really kind of set the stage for places that we want our life to look a certain way, the things we fantasize about, the ideals that we have. And unfortunately, in this time, it's also kind of forcing us to weed out the toxicity. Part of that emotionality that I was talking about in Pisces season really highlighted people, situations where, it's just not working anymore. It actually becomes too toxic, or we're not getting enough nourishment, in counterbalance, right? I mean, nothing's perfect. There's always toxicity somewhere, we love labeling things modern day, not good, bad, right, or wrong. I'm a huge proponent of validating oneself and one's experience, but we also have to make sure that it doesn't lead to like justifying bad behavior or making excuses. We still have to be fed on the other side of it. And I feel like, I don't know, maybe you're getting a little bit too stuck in the physical realms is what I'm seeing. This fear, right? It's like a fear. Fear, when we hold on to things that aren't good for us or that just aren't working. It doesn't have to be a bad situation or like all this trauma or, take it how it fits, take it how it resonates. It can be as simple as like, I know this thing has run its course. I feel like it's either time for me to move on or seek out other avenues, other options, etc. And that's what it feels, what it looks like. Your overarching energy is telling me. It's saying, like, I know that there are things that I probably should be doing that I'm not. I'm not, because I think there is some fear kind of embedded in this. I'm hearing like some of the things that you're coming from, some of the hardships, some of the challenge, the people, the situations, how they've dealt with you. It feels a little bit it's causing some fear, right? Some reverberations of the past, because you feel fresh, like whatever has happened has like wiped the slate clean. And now you're starting from ground zero. You have more wisdom. You actually have more wisdom and awareness than what you're even giving yourself. I think that that's part of where that fear is infiltrating for you, Scorpio. You're not trusting yourself. You're not trusting yourself, but this is because of your experience, because of the people and the situations that you've dealt with that have like doubted you too, or been the naysayers, been the people saying one thing to your face and another thing behind your back, etc. And you're at a point where, I don't know, I feel like you've been either waiting around for someone or something, and they just keep moving in the opposite direction is what it seems. I don't know. This is someone who has intentions, but a lot of excuses at the same time, right? They're kind of like, oh yeah, I'm going to reach out to Scorpio, or we're going to make this work. Or they're actually like making plans as to how they can connect with you. And then they just don't. There's always a reasoning. There's always an excuse. It's holding you in this holding pattern, keeping you in a holding pattern. I'm almost seeing it like cement or rubber cement. That would be a better analogy. Like it's like you're encased in this and you can't move. You can't get out. And I don't know. I mean, there is something about this that is interesting to you. There's something about this that is keeping you around. But at the same time, like you're feeling a lot of, it's hard to deny. It's hard to deny like the disconnect. because it feels good in your mind or in the fantasy, but in the reality, not so much. This feels like someone who's always going to be burdened, always going to be overwhelmed. Always, yeah, 100%. Like I feel like this is someone who doesn't like manage themselves, manage their life very well. And so that's where the excuses come into play. And they might be legit. Like some of these excuses 100% might be legit. But this is also a pattern that they get trapped in over and over and over again. And it is affecting the relationship. It is affecting the dynamic. Because it becomes less interesting as time has gone by. And you're just watching them repeat the same mistake over and over and over again. And it's coming to this point, it's already at this point where it is time to assess, is this making you happy, right? The devil's coming out a lot. The devil's in the details is what I'm hearing, especially when we're looking at people, relationships, those patternings and how they're playing out in our life, who and what we're giving hall passes to, who and what we keep around for a little bit longer because we're afraid. We're afraid to move out of our comfortability, right? Like the comfortable dynamics we have set up for ourselves. But even when you try to get answers, I don't know. You're getting answers without direct answers. It's like if this is a specific person, or even a situation, you're kind of like asking questions or feeling out the energy and it just always comes back flat. Like I said, the idea of it is way better than the reality of it. And I feel like this is just someone who needs to I don't know, maybe get some advice or this is someone who really just like needs to change their approach 100%, but can't. I don't know. They're very stuck in their ways. It's, and we all do this. It's that value of and I'm not meaning this in a negative way towards anyone, but I really love that Einstein quote, like the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over again and expecting different results. That's what you're dealing with. Like you're dealing with someone who's just either hasn't gotten the message, or because even when you try to talk to them, they still are like wholeheartedly believing in the reasons why they can't, it's always, and maybe they say it in a way that feels, empathetic and your heart laments for them. But again, like you're the one who's leading with your heart. They're the one who's leading with their mind. And it's a disconnect. It's like, I feel like it's like no matter what you do, no matter how you show up, how you interact, how you treat, it's always going to be this dynamic. It feels a little bit runner chaser. I'm not going to lie. Even if you're constantly together or in a committed, dynamic, it just feels like you're always chasing after the other person. Oh, sorry. Sunflower. Okay. Respond. To explore how you and or others regard you, ask a few trusted advisors for feedback about your presence, approach, and disposition. What do you expect to hear? Do you think you will be surprised? How might you respond? Honestly, I feel like that's more for this person, this situation. Like they need the feedback. But this is also in reverse for you too, right? Like if you're constantly running after, chasing after someone, something, then maybe it's looking at yourself and how does that look on you? And not even like how do people look at you? It's more about like how do you feel about that? How do you feel about being that person, that's constantly going after someone, something that might look right, that might feel right, that might taste right, but the actual reality of it is not right. That's a very fine line. It's very hard to kind of differentiate, but it does show that spirit is giving you enough signs. Lily is whorl. What would happen if you embrace the chaos or concentric circles and remove your rigidity? Would you gain flexibility? And what if you de-emphasize difference? Would you gain connectivity? This is that value, surrendering the need to have things look, feel a certain way, using more of your intuition as your guidance, as your direction, as that still small voice, telling you what way to go. And we connect with that when we do take a step back, when we're not so rigid, right? When we're not so like, I gotta make this person love me, they will see. Not that I don't feel like you're trying to force this person, because they're obviously in this as well. But there is, like I said, that disconnect. Cornflower, self-slow. This flora understands how to achieve a healthy interdependence by caring for and tending to those around it as much as it cares for itself. How can you germinate personal confidence while maintaining communal connectivity? I love that, right? So attending to self first, investing in self first. That's what this is all about. Changing, releasing, moving in a new direction, so you're not getting stuck in the toxicity, you're not getting stuck in taking responsibility for other people, other situations. Not the easiest, but has a lot of value in it. When we do, we feel more autonomous in relationships. It doesn't make us feel as crazy, like, why isn't this person, why isn't this situation, understanding that I'm here to love them, support them, etc. Because and really, like, kind of mirroring their energy is what I'm hearing, right? If they're putting their own emphasis on self, taking a chapter, a note out of their book, right? Maybe you put that time into yourself, and you can still check in or do what you got to do, but making sure you're putting yourself first. All right, Scorpio, thank you so much for your time, energy, always. I hope you enjoyed the reading. I hope you found messages that resonated for you here. Definitely drop comments below if you did. I'd love to hear, or just say, hey, share in a little love, little TLC. Thank you so much for all the love, all the support you bring to the channel. No, I'm sending it back your way.